Welcome everybody to Ein Sof Learning. This week's Parasha is Chukat. The word Chukat literally means a statute or an ordinance, and it's found in the book of Numbers, chapter 19, verse 2. In this week's Parasha, Moshe Rabbeinu, Moses our teacher, is taught the laws of the Para Aduma, the red heifer, whose ashes purify a person who has been contaminated by contact with a dead body. Anybody who touches a dead body, they become contaminated. That means tameh, tum'ah. They acquire a level of impurity, spiritual impurity. Your entire goof becomes impure, which means that the soul needs to depart from your body, because the soul cannot dwell within a body that is not holy. And when the body gets blemished, well, the vessel is blemished, and that means the light needs to depart. And everybody in this generation that we live in is considered to be contaminated by a dead body, because the only way to make yourself pure is, as we've said already, through this red heifer, that you're going to have to purify yourself with the ashes of this red heifer in order to cleanse yourself from this contamination. And nobody has the red heifer. I don't know anybody who has the ashes from the red heifer right today. They probably exist somewhere. I'm not sure. I don't want to make anything up. But the thing is, we don't have it today. Definitely not in the public. You might ask, so how do I purify myself from this impurity so I can receive my soul? Right? What is this? Where we don't have contact with our souls? Unless you are pure enough to be able to hear the voice of the soul, which is the Yetzer HaTov. But everybody has a Yetzer Hara and a Yetzer HaTov. So in this particular world, the Yetzer Hara is stronger to a much greater degree than the Yetzer HaTov. That means your evil inclination is stronger than your good inclination. That's the way that things are in this world that we live. We live in Olam Tachton, which means the lowest world. And the Klipot are most prevalent in this world. They are the most strongest and dominating force in this world, even more so than the Kedusha, the holiness. Because the holiness is subdued to the klipot, subdued to the impurity, because that's the nature of this particular world. Not every world is this way. There are upper worlds, there are higher dimensions where the klipot cling less so to that particular world, which means that that level of consciousness is less impacted by the presence of klipot. Because the stronger the border is, the stronger your army is, the stronger your defense system is, meaning the closer you are to Hashem, the klipot are not able to enter into your world, which means into your perspective of reality. A world is a perspective of reality, which means to view the world through these principles that are being brought forth right now through Kabbalah. Whenever you perceive the world through the lens of the name of God, which means through the lens of the Chokhmah of Kabbalah, because the name of God is Yud, He, Vav, He, and that's embodying these 10 Sefirot. We've already explained this before, that the crown on the letter Yud, of the name of God, corresponds to Keter. The letter Yud corresponds to Chokhmah. The He is Bina. The Vav is Chesed, Gevurat, Tiferet, Netzach, Hod, and Yesod. And the final He of the name of God is Malchut. So really, seeing the world through the lens of God's name means seeing the world through Sefirot. That means that you're in touch with the Etz HaChaim, the tree of life, which is the truth, which is the wisdom of truth. That's what Kabbalah is. It's the Chokhmat HaEmet. So without further ado, let's open up the Torah, Bamidbar 19, verse 2. This is the statute of the Torah which the Lord commanded, saying, speak to the children of Israel, and have them take for you a perfectly red, unblemished cow, upon which no yoke was laid. So that's the verse that we're going to be focusing on in this particular video. Rabbi Abuchatzera begins his commentary. He says, Efshar lirmoz, deyadua, veyesh pei resh dinin, veshin chaf dinin, vehem nukvin veduchrin. Rabbi Yaakov Abuchatzera is taking us to a spiritual concept known in Kabbalah as dinim, the concept of judgments, energies of judgment. Dinim are unrevealed lights. They are potentials for kindness, meaning chesed, but they have to be mitukt, which means they have to be transformed or sweetened, literally, into rachamim. So that's what din is. Any person who experiences any loss of wealth, any loss of health, any loss of relationship in their entire life is experiencing din. Din means like a divine decree that has been placed against a person as a punishment for some sort of a selfishness within them that they have not yet corrected. Meaning, the further you leave your self improvement, you want to delay it and deal with it later, you're actually causing a storm to slowly but surely form against you within your own world. And it's going to start, messing things up, especially the older you get, whenever you can't change it anymore. So we all have negative attributes, negative character traits, negative thoughts, speech, and action. But if we are not actively trying and putting up the proper fences to stay within the bounds of a Torah Jew or any person who's really committed to knowing God, then this concept of dinim becomes very important to you, where you learn how to transform these dinim, meaning to transform the darkness that exists within your own heart into a force for goodness, into a power of holiness, into a giving force as opposed to a receiving force, right? That's what's symbolized by the color of the black beard, or even the hair is black. It over time becomes white because black represents desire to receive, white represents desire to share. A person who's becoming older, they're becoming more white, their hair becomes more white. That's a symbolic representation of this process. So it says that there are 280 dinim that are nukva. That means they are from the female aspect. And there are 320 dinim that come from the male aspect. We're going to have to really remember these concepts going forward in this video, because these 280 female dinim and 320 male dinim are concepts that will hint us in the proper direction of what these concepts are relevant in my life today. Because right now we're dealing with concepts. So how can I make it relevant? How can I make it, I want to say, practical, right? Well, you have to first go through the process within the mind, and then you're going to bring it down. That's what this whole study is. And you want to merge it. Eventually, you want to understand what these words actually mean, what these concepts have anything to do with you. Ukeshehem mitmatkim. And when they are sweetened, meaning when they are transformed into rachamim, which means mercy, chozrim hey resh hey v'shin chaf hey. They return to the numerical value of 285 and 325, meaning 285 female and 325 male. They each increase by a value of 5. And Pei Resh Hey and Shin Chaf Hey in Hakolel Gimatria Torah. When you add together 285 plus 325, you get the word Torah. Torah is Gematria 611. 611. So this is to hint that the ikar of mituk dinim is through toiling in Torah. That's what Rabbi Abuchatzera says here. He's saying that the main way to transform these energies of din, these attributes of judgment, is through toiling in the Torah. Of course, this means on all levels, meaning pshat, remes, drosh, and sod. You have to first learn pshat, then you move on to remes, then drosh, then sod. But for our level that we're at, learning any book that we pick up right now, for us, is pshat, because we're going to interpret it through the lens that we have in this world, which is very superficial. Even if we pick up a Kabbalah book, which right now we're dealing with one, right, it's not going to be as deep as, for example, the author of this particular book perceived it to be, because he was in a higher world when he wrote the book, and I'm in a lower world, and I'm trying to see what he saw by reading his book. But that means it takes a lot more effort on my part to be able to get to his level. But in any case, he's saying that the main way to transform these energies of dinim that we all have, those attributes of selfishness, those darkness that exists within each and every person, that's din. The way to transform them is through toiling in Torah, meaning the remedy or the cure to your selfishness is the engagement with the Torah. Engaging yourself and immersing yourself in the Torah. Od, al yedei esek Torah, mit al et Shekhinah Uzeinu. It's saying that through toiling in the Torah, you are elevating the Shekhinah, which is our strength. Shekhinat Uzeinu. That means the divine presence, our strength. Uzeinu comes from the word Oz. Oz means strength or power or might. What is our power? What is our strength and our might? That is the Shekhinah. Shekhinah is our mother. We're the children. Shekhinah is the mother. And so Shekhinah is that energy, that divine presence within this world, which fills everything. Everything in this world is Shekhinah energy. Everything. Even in the time of the Garden of Eden, when Adam and Eve were in the Garden of Eden, Shekhinah was the energy that is in this world. She is the energy that embodies Malchut. Malchut is the the lowest dimension on the tree of life. So she embodies the attribute of Malchut. That means she dwells in the kingdom. All of the energy that we have in this world, whether we think it's good or bad, doesn't matter. All of the energy in this world is from the Shekhinah. Vehi kula dinim. And she is completely dinim. Remember this. Malchut, which is the receiving vessel of all of the goodness that the keter, the crown on the tree of life, wants to give the lower worlds. She needs elevation because she is all dinim. You see, she needs to be mitukt, transformed, sweetened. We need to transform all of the dinim, all of the power that really enlivens this particular dimension of being is Shekhinah energy. So it's saying that the way to bring her elevation is through esek haTorah. Esek haTorah. That means toiling in the Torah. Ve'al yadei esek haTorah mitmateket. She is sweetened. Through doing this toiling of Torah, we are causing her to become sweetened. Ve'samakel ve'lamed lamed lady nichnaim. I don't want to say their names. Samech mem means Satan. Even Satan, I shouldn't say the name as well, because the moment you invoke the name of a certain energy, because you invoke their presence by reciting their name, they're there, and you don't want to spawn the energy of Samech Mem and this other one called Lamed Lamed, which is the energy of the wife of the Samech Mem. So there are two components to the dark side, right? The Samech Mem is the male aspect of the evil, and the Lamed Lamed, which is spelled Lamed Yud Taf. You shouldn't ever pronounce this name, ever. She is the female aspect of the dark side. But through toiling in Torah, they are subdued. That's what Rabbi Abba Chatera is teaching us here. Through toiling in Torah, you're able to subdue that energy. Because that's the energy of Lamed Lamed. Even the female aspect is stronger than the male aspect in terms of the evil side. So that's very interesting because, you know, we hear a lot about the evils committed by men against other men, but we rarely get to hear about, what women are really capable of, the deeper you go into their dark side. But here it seems like we're learning that the dark side of the woman is actually more dark than the dark side of a man, which is very interesting. But let's go forward. And this is why it says, this is the statute of the Torah. Klomar, Zot chukat haTorah shehi oseh befulata. Meaning, this is the statute of the Torah, which causes the Shekhinah to become affected and to become transformed, mitukt, sweetened from din into rachamim. And you need to speak to the children of Israel and warn them that they should toil in her for her own sake. Meaning, toil in the Torah, but do it lishma. Meaning, do it for her own sake. Don't do it for your sake. Do it for her sake. To bring her elevation. Vezehu vaikhu elecha. And this is why it says, take them for you. What does that mean? The word elecha for you, mamash, literally is trying to tell you a person who studies Torah lishma, that the spark of Moses shines within them. That's what happens to a person who studies Torah for the proper reason, which means lishma, for her own sake. The neshama of Moshe Rabbeinu mitnatzetz bo, sparkles within you. ועל ידי זה פרה דהיינו הפר דינים שהם אדומים בדין חוזרים להיות תמימה דהיינו נתמתקים. He's saying that through this, through having the light of Moses shine through you, the 285 dinim, which are the female aspects of the dinim that we were referring to before, which are red with din. That's why they're called red cow. Why? Because the word red cow in Hebrew is para aduma. So the word para aduma is pei resh hey aduma. Pei resh hey is those same 285 that we were talking about. Those dinim from the female side, those female dinim. That's what the word cow means in Hebrew, para. But it's para aduma. That means it's a red cow. So these 285 sparks are red. That means they're din. Din is the attribute of red. That's Edom. Edom is red. Left column energy. So that's the attribute of din. וחוזרים לחיות תמימה דהיינו נמתקים. That means they return to become temima, unblemished, meaning sweetened. So these 285 dinim from the female side, they become sweetened. How? Through toiling in the Torah. And it causes those 285 dinim, which is hinted to in the word para aduma, to become sweetened. If you take the word para aduma plus 2 kolelim, meaning one kolel for the word para and another kolel for the word aduma, gimatria ze shin chaf he. This is 325. So now there's a hint to the 325 male dinim that we were talking about earlier. That was only talking about the female dinim, which is 285. But there's 325 male dinim. And those 325 male dinim are hinted to in the word para aduma, to hint that also the 325 dinim are sweetened through Esek Torah. That even the 325 male aspects of the dinim are sweetened and transformed through toiling in Torah. מכיוון שנמתקים hadinim, and since that the dinim are sweetened, mitmatket hashechina. The Shekhinah is sweetened as well. V'nirmoz ze gam ken b'milat temima. And this is also hinted to in the word temima, which means unblemished. Because if you take the word temima plus kolel, gematria malchut. Malchut. To hint that the Shekhinah is sweetened through toiling in Torah and returns to become unblemished. That means Malchut becomes sweetened. Because what's Shekhinah? Shekhinah is Malchut. So that's why the word Temima is Gematria Malchut. So together, what we're learning here is that the 280 female aspects of the dinim become 285, and the 320 dinim from the male aspect become 325, and then the Shekhinah becomes sweetened as a result of that. That because you toiled in the Torah and you sweetened these dinim, and they each acquired a vessel for themselves, that's why they each got added 5, hey, which is a vessel. That is the sweetening of the Shekhinah. By doing the sweetening of these dinim, you're performing the sweetening of the Shekhinah. And this is all hinted to in the word temimah, which is gematria malchut. So this is saying that you're bringing malchut back to her clean state before she was enveloped by klipot. Because right now we're in a malchut that is completely enveloped by klipot. At least I can speak for myself. My malchut is completely full of klipot. I don't know what's happening in your mind and in your heart and what urges you have, but I know my mind has a lot of dinim, has a lot of klipot. So my malchut is not clean, but we have to toil ourselves in the Torah in order to purify that vessel. And that's what this whole entire class has been about. That it is particularly through toiling in the Torah that you're going to transform this darkness, and not through any other means, not through a self-help video, not through Dr. Phil, not through Dr. Oz. Nobody's going to do it for you. You have to pick up the book and the study and then test on yourself, experiment on yourself, analyze your motivations, go and find out why you did this, why you did that. Sit down, write a list of all your fears, write a list of all your goals. Take your own future and destiny seriously, because you are the only one who can bring this salvation that we've all been talking about. It's only you who can bring it, because Hashem is waiting on you to make space in your own life to allow His blessings to flow into your vessel. You have to make the space. He is going to wait for you to arouse your desire for that salvation to take place. And this salvation we're talking about is none other than the transformation of your own darkness into light, meaning into rachamim, arousing divine mercy upon you, and basically protecting you from the tragedy of the end of days, the catastrophes that we're seeing happening. Slowly, they're going to increase more and more and more. If you're not motivated by helping others, then be motivated by the punishment. But the point is, you have to take your own journey seriously. But I wouldn't recommend being motivated by the punishment. That's a very lower level of connection with Hashem. But if that's what you're motivated off of, it's not necessarily bad either. You can have a healthy kind of relationship with fear of God in that regard as well. But again, the higher level of fear of yirat Hashem, fear of God, fear of heaven, is doing the mitzvot with a sense of reverence, awe, respect. Not so much fear of punishment, no, but a fear that you're going to do something to betray the love that you have for God and thus be knocked off the true path. And it takes a lot of effort to get back to where you were whenever you made that fall. That's what we're all doing right now. We're trying to go back. That's what teshuvah means, to return to back where we were before we made that sin, in that aspect of Adam eating from the tree of knowledge. Because everybody has an aspect in Adam. Everybody has a share in the sin of Adam. So before you really made that sin, you were at a certain level. And you fell from that level of consciousness, and now you have to do teshuvah, to return back to that level. And in fact, when you do that, you're going to be on an even higher level. Because now you understand how bad is bad. And if you show him the proper amount of ratzon, if you show him that you are directing your ratzon in the derech of kedusha, holiness, he will assist you. That's what the Gemara says. Gemara says that HaKadosh Baruch Hu assists those who come to be purified. If you truly desire it, Hashem will help you. So, that was the class. I hope that the message was clear and you enjoyed the video. If you did, please share your thoughts in the comments. Maybe you have questions, put them in the comments. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Hey everybody, thanks for watching that video. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, don't be afraid to share this video with your loved ones, as we know that we are trying to reach as many souls as we possibly can with the wisdom of the Torah, specifically its inner dimensions called Kabbalah, which is the mystical secrets that are contained within God's holy Torah. And I invite you to join me on this effort to spreading this wisdom to the four corners of the world so we can prepare for what we've all been waiting for, the final redemption, where Israel will be redeemed along with the righteous Gentiles.